Hello, what's up, guys? This is Jouni Juurela from Floorball Made Simple, and I am back again with another video that focuses on game intelligence and risk reward ratio. Risk reward ratio, those sound like fine words, but what do they exactly mean on the context of floorball? This calculation happens constantly on floorball fields at all the times with the best players, so hang on tight and let's get into it. Take good care of the ball when you are in the field. That is a very common knowledge and saying that every single coach in the world that has ever existed is repeating to his or her players. I am doing the same thing. That is very important. The responsibility with the ball, taking good care of the ball, that creates the whole flow of the game and how well the game is going for my team. In every situation, with every choice you make, there are always risks and rewards related to the actions and choices that you make on the field. So every choice has a certain risk level of failing, but if you are able to perform that choice, there is always a reward that comes suddenly after it. You should not be only scared of the risks that there are in your choices and never try to express your creativity, but I can tell you there is not a single coach on this planet who will pat you in the back if you are constantly losing the ball. And I would say that Finland and Sweden are the best in risk-reward ratio management in the whole floorballing world. So if you come from some other country, this video might be especially good for you. And where you need to take care of the ball then? Everywhere in the field at all moments of the game. You need to have high responsibility level with the ball, but especially two areas on the field stand out the most. If you do the risk-reward calculations off constantly on these two spaces, you are in trouble. These spaces are between the blue lines in your own team's blue line and in the opposing team's blue line. Approximately those areas. Most of the ball possession losses occur in those areas and the most dangerous counterattacks open for the opponent. But before we dive deeper into this risk-reward ratio, I need to give shout out to the best coaching tool that I have personally ever used, which is the XPS network. They have amazing tool that helps especially the coaches on planning your tactics, planning your training sessions, monitoring your success, and you can make very deep analysis with the analysis tactics tool that they have in the XPS. If you are not working with it yet, go to XPS Networks websites, Sideline Sports, there you will find how you can get this cool tool in your use. And if I wouldn't use this tool personally, I would never be able to do the coaching in the level that I do. And losing the ball matters indeed in floorball fields, and it has been statistically proven by studies made by Mr. Palvalin in the year 2020 for Finnish Floorball Federation. He was investigating ball possession losses and goal scoring chance creation in international top level games. And the main finding on this context was that the most dangerous moments in the game where a player can lose the ball is directly from ball carrying. So in the moments when the player is carrying the ball and the ball is taken off his or her blade directly from the carry, those are even more dangerous than misplaced passes on the field. 21% of these situations where the ball is taken from your blade directly end up into a shot for the opposing team. And losing the ball in the middle zone is the worst place where you can lose the ball because the distance from how far the opponent has to start the counterattack is the shortest. So the turnover into your own end will be the fastest. So the risk levels on middle zone ball carries are the highest. So how many times can you lose the ball in a match? Well, preferably from those moments when you're carrying and the ball disappears directly from your blade, preferably 0 times per match. Those are so dangerous moments in the field that you should avoid those with all costs. If you are constantly losing the ball on the middle zone offense or on top of either blue line, you should really consider these following questions I present to you next. Reflect what you are doing wrong. If the ball is disappearing from your blade constantly, what is happening? Why is that happening? Are you not taking the ball into the shielded position? Are you carrying the ball too much in an open ice situation where the ball is not behind your body but rather closer to the defending team player's body? Are you doing some too difficult stick handling on the situation? Would there be any more direct and straightforward way to carry the ball? How many times do you scan around before you receive the ball? How good image you have of the spaces and situations around you before you even get the ball? How does your thinking process or decision-making process go on the field? Do you start to think about your next move only when the ball lands on your blade? That is too late if you are doing it. Or do you start to scan the game and you see in advance what you're going to do? You can see to the future, you can scan towards the next choices even before getting the ball. And further information about the risk-reward ratio on the situations. Risks might be, or how you could approach thinking about the risks in the situations. If I lose the ball now in this specific spot and situation on the field, how bad will the turnover be for the opposing team? Because if that calculation is not there, or it is off, your estimation is off, most likely your team will concede very bad turnovers. How does the defensive balance of your team look like when you are attacking? Do you know how your other teammates are positioned? And is the balance good on attacking? How are the opposing team's players around you positioned? So how much space and time you have on the situation? And how likely it is that your choice will succeed? If the choice will be too difficult to the circumstance, it is very unlikely that it will be a good choice. And the rewards. If you are able to pull off this decision that you want to do, how much does the team gain from that? How far are you able to move the ball? In what kind of position you are ending up after that? What is the outcome? Is it good enough outcome to make this choice with that risk level? How much threat does your team create if you are able to do that performance? And then in the end, was the outcome really worth all that risk? Was the outcome beneficial enough for the whole team? And better the team is, more often this calculation goes right for more players in the team. And the risks and rewards always relate to every single basic choice that you can do on the field, which are from the basic choices, technical choices that you can do. They might be passes, they might be shots, they might be ball carrying. And like I said earlier, better and higher league level the player is, more often the calculation of the risk-reward ratio goes correctly. Less experienced or less skilled lower level players, they often make this decision making more often wrong than the very high top level players. And if the risk reward calculation in your case is constantly going off, you are constantly feeling that you're making the wrong decisions in the field, then you need to start to work on your individual decision making and scanning around the spaces a little more. Better you are on individually recognizing situations, recognizing spaces, times, speeds, more likely it is that your choices are successful on the floorball field. How many times we have heard that somebody says that you made the right choice, you made the wrong choice in the situation. But what is the right and wrong choice in every situation? Well, that always depends on the situation on the field. Every situation is unique and happens only once in that particular form that it happened. It never comes again as the same exact type on the field. And did it go right or wrong? It all comes down to your own individual situation recognition skill. How well you have scanned the field and gathered the key information from the field. You need to scan and get the key information from the situations, and so you have the information base on making your choices on the field. You need to get a good perception of the time and space around you in order to make good choices. Your technical execution of the desired choices needs to be good enough so you can actually nail the choices that you want to do. And in the end, did you get the risk reward assessment right in that specific situation? If you got it right, most likely your choice is going to be a good one. And here is one case example of risk reward ratio on the middle zone attacking, middle zone offense, and especially when you are receiving the ball in the wide side pockets in the sides of the field. You might be considering about these factors, and if you are able to recognize these things well, most likely your choices are very good. So, first of all, how much space there is in front of you in the pocket? How much space there is for you to use when you have the ball? How far are the closest opposing team's players? Because if the closest players of the opponent's team are far, the pocket is open, right? If the players are closer to you, then that is a tighter gap, and that influences on the whole situation how you can play it. Where are your own teammates? Where is the support? What kind of balance you have on the team? With what speed the opponents are moving towards you. If they are coming like a bull out of the gate, 1,000 miles per hour, that makes a harder situation for you. If they are slower, of course, it is an easier situation to solve. In what speed are your teammates moving? Have they caught up to you? Are they coming to support you with good timing, or are they too far behind? And that creates the momentary numerical situation on the field. Are you going into an outmanned situation by yourself, only a solo warrior, 1 against 3, 1 against 2? There is more risks if you are going into a situation like that. Or is it a evenly matched situation, big space, 3 on 3, big space, 2 on 2? And most often the less experienced players and lower level players, they are too optimistic in this calculation, and they go too much into 1 against 3, 1 against 4, and end up on losing the ball. So recognizing the whole situation as a unit around you is very important. And here, the last slide of this presentation, biggest miscalculations players often do in the situations. Little bit a negative side, how I approach this, but I want to show you the basic mistakes that might happen. If the player is not recognizing the numerical situation well enough around him or her, that is a big potential mistake. So if you carry too much, drive too much with the ball into too tight gaps, into outman situations, then those are harder situations. If you are overestimating how open the passing lanes are, you might end up on making the wrong passing choices. If you are underestimating the risk levels for turnovers when you are shooting from a certain space, that is also a risk for a turnover. So basically, that's a shooting related risk. If you see that your team's defensive balance is not good and you still decide to let it fly, that might be a risk in some situations. If you are getting the wrong image of the time and space around you when you get the ball, for example in the wide side pockets, that is a potential risk. You need to nail every time that situation recognition process, how much time and space you have on the situation. And if you are not recognizing how fast the opponent's defenders are coming towards you to defend against you, your time window for your choice might fall off short in the situation, because the opponents, they want to back check and side check, defend on the situations. right? And okay, guys, that was the video for today. Subscribe to my channel Floorball Made Simple. Like this video, share this video as far as you want. And if you want to keep up with my own personal floorball journey, you can find me in Instagram. There is my nickname written right over there. And if you are interested of how my new club's FBC Trenchins floorball journey is going on and how these coaching visions are working in a concrete way, go and find FBC Trenchin in our socials. We are on Instagram, we are on Facebook and on YouTube. Have a great week. Bye.